Davison back, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. I've been listening to Big Finish's latest release, Shadow of the Daleks, Volume 1, Part 1. Which is a bit weird because it's an 8-part story, as it turns out. For Shadow of the Daleks Part 1, which I'm going to be doing a review of right now. Before we get there, can I ask you guys, can you hit the like button? That like button would be fantastic. Can you hit the share button? That's even better. But the button I like to be pushed. I like you to push my buttons. What button do I like you to push? I like you to push the subscribe button. Can you hit that subscribe button? That will be fan-dabby double dozy. Thank you very much. I am just insanely grateful for each and every one of you subscribing. And I know that sounds like bullcrap. I know that sounds like just spiel. It's actually genuinely 100% true. If you can hit that subscribe button, that'd be really, really wonderful. If you subscribe, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Firstly, I'm going to get happy. I'm going to get really, really, really happy. You know, unless you don't want to make me happy, then I'm going to be really upset. I'll be angry. If you're somebody who doesn't like me and you want to hate subscribing, do that too. But if you're somebody who's not like that, who just want to hit the subscribe and make me happy, that'll be just fun. And how often? How often do you get to make a rabbi happy? It's not often, you know? So that's the first new experience that you get by hitting the subscribe button. The second new experience is, I'm sure, if there is a God, which I believe there is, you may not think, well, there is one. I don't know. God, you know, it will look down on you and it will smile. It will imbue you with blessing upon blessing. At least that is what I've been reported. That's what people tell me. They say, Svi, I subscribed to your channel and I won the lottery. Says, Svi, I subscribed to your channel and I met the perfect spouse. And we got married right. Svi, I subscribed to the lottery. My penis grew 4 feet. Now that might not seem to be much of a blessing, but it turns out that guy was really into horses. Really super into horses. I don't think you want to know more about that story. But anyway, all that stuff may or may not happen to you. I don't know. But one thing guaranteed that can happen if you subscribe is you can enter my weekly competitions. You know, my weekly competition. Okay, not as good as having a horse's penis. I agree, but still, it's nearly as good because what you could win this week is Doctor Who: Robots of Death. A freaking fantastic story. See, this is actually the special edition, even though it's got one of the worst covers of all time. I hate this cover. So, you know, you also get with it my own fan-made cover, which is this one, which is so much freaking better. Actually, I can't remember if I actually made this one or if I just stole the template. Somebody else made it. Somebody made these incredible templates, which I use for it. So he made some of them. He didn't make some of them. Anyway, you get this one, which is so much better a cover. What do you need to do to win it? Well, you need to do 3 things. 3 things to win it. Subscribe to the channel. We've been over that. Subscribe to the channel. In the comments, leave the hashtag Taran And the third thing you need to do is get a bit lucky. We're going to do the prize draw on Sunday, October 25th, when I'm going to be on the TARDIS zone, and we're going to be talking about, we're doing a watch along of the Daleks in Manhattan, which I quite like, but a lot of people didn't. So yeah, that's all you need to do to win it. Fine, let's talk about this story, Shadow of the Daleks. So this is a Peter Davison story. It takes place on the outskirts of the Time War. So it's the first time they're bringing the classic Doctors into the Time War, which is really quite interesting because they're really on the peripheries of it. This one, but something that's much more obvious that's going on right here is they are bored witless of the main range. They do not want to do a normal 4-part story anymore. They are just so shockingly bored with it. That's why we haven't had one for quite some time. So this is another change in format. We're taking instead of having a 4-part story, we're having 4 1-part stories. It's actually 8 1-part stories, all with the same cast, and they recur in different places in time and space. All at the same time, the Daleks are somewhere on the outskirts. The Doctor's just kind of noticing them, trying to work out what's going on. And yeah, something that annoyed me about this is you do not get a resolution in this. You don't really find out what the hell's going on. You get 4 reasonably interesting parts of a story, of a larger whole, but without so much direction. And for me, I don't think that really works so well. The stories themselves, none of them are bad at all. Let me read. I'll read the blurb for you. The general blurb is, something is very wrong. The 5th Doctor is lost in the Time War, heading for an encounter with his oldest and deadliest enemies, the Daleks. Yeah, again, the Daleks are in it, but this kind of like like phantom Daleks at the corner of his eye, yeah, that's where it is. So he sees, and so he sees like a little bit of Dalekiness going on. He doesn't really work out what's going on. The first story by James Kettle, I think, really could have been quite a decent 4-part story in of itself, which I'm kind of sad it wasn't. Honestly, I'm kind of sad it wasn't. It's called Aimed at the Body. This is about, which I know nothing about whatsoever. This is about the famous, well, I say famous, so it might be famous, not to me, the famous Bodyline series, which is where I think it was about in the early 19th century, in an Australian tour, an English captain whose name escapes me completely came up with the plan of, if you bowl it in a certain way, they either going to be hit by the ball or they're going to be put out. So it's called. He aimed it at the body, right? So that was the name thing, aimed at the body. So the person who came up with this was reviled because this really wasn't cricket. This actually, quite literally, really was. It filled the rules, but it really wasn't very nice. It wasn't very cricketing. So he was somewhat reviled. So this gentleman is lost in the outback with a damsel in distress. I'll read the blurb for this story. An encounter with a notorious cricketing legend should be right up the Doctor's street. Yeah, this is why it was really fits for the Fifth Doctor. But the unexpected appearance of an old enemy is about to send the Doctor on a quest. Yeah, so he keeps getting the feeling that these people are really Daleks, or the Daleks are the people, or there's something strange going on with reality. This leads him into a quest that takes him to the second part of the story, Lightspeed. I think these first two stories are probably the best. My favourite one is probably Aimed at the Body. Aimed at the Body, I think, was the stronger of the two. The strongest of the four. Lightspeed is still a pretty interesting story. The Doctor ends up on a ship in the far future, and he meets the exact same 4 people again. He has the same car. Basically, they worked out how to use the same cast for 8 different stories. He meets the exact same people, but they have different identities and are in different places in space and time. And this actually would have been quite an interesting story in of itself as well. They're on a spaceship, and there's a old foe of the Doctor, old enemy that the Doctor beat, who we've never seen before, who has put this program into all computers to look for the Doctor, and wherever they find the Doctor, they're going to kill everybody else they can and not the Doctor, or maybe they'll kill everybody else and the Doctor as well at the end. They want the Doctor to see everybody be killed, which is again a pretty interesting story. But then which then leads to the next one. So that was by Jonathan Morris. Again, good horror-y science fiction story. Where it starts to go off the rails for me is the second and third story. We have The Bookshop at the End of the World by Simon Gurrier. Simon Gurrier, a normally very, very reliable writer, and he's come up with an interesting story. It is an interesting story. It's just I don't really understand it. I don't really understand where it's going, and that's really the problem I have with this set. It's not really set with this release, because it sets up a lot of interesting questions and leaves you dangling, really. I don't think that's what the main range should really be doing. But it just very clear to me they are bored sickless on the main range, which is why why it's coming again. So The Bookshop at the End of the World, it's very easy to forget yourself and get lost in a bookshop, but some bookshops more than most. So it meets the same 4 people again, and they're all hanging out at this like very comfy bookshop and cafe where they can sit and read. But it turns out this bookshop isn't really a bookshop. It's a refuge from a future war, which rewrites your personality and your memories, so to help you escape from it. Which again, interesting idea. This is more better as a one-parter, because I don't really think it goes anywhere with it. It's not enough for a 4-part story. And then that leads into the final story, Interlude by Dan Starkey. The play's the thing, or is it? The Doctor is roped into a theatrical spectacular, but who is he really performing to? So this is, again, is for me far too similar to the third story. It's the Doctor. He's in where is it? Florence, historical Florence. and time keeps jumping. He's in. He first arrives. Next thing he knows, he's been roped into a band of players. The reality has changed. Florence has become the center of the world, and Rome has been destroyed. And there's this weird play that he's been roped in to take part in, to play there's a perform for the ruler of Florence, who is not who you would expect it to be. So yeah, I would say this is a collection that, unfortunately for me right now, I'm going to say is lesser than the sum of its parts. The first two stories pretty good. Second two, I just, there wasn't enough for me to grab onto to say like what's going on. And again, the Daleks keep appearing in the shadows, in the backgrounds, throughout this. The Peter Davison does say, "Oh, you've had a makeover. I like the bronze," or something. Yeah, he acknowledges we're talking about the new series Daleks. So does this work as an individual release? I would say no, it really doesn't, which is kind of a shame. Kind of a shame. I guess this should have been released as a 4-disc set. Which is what they apparently want to do now. They just don't want to make 4-part stories, which is a bit of a shame. But what can you do? Everyone's human. Everybody gets bored. Everybody wants to move forward. And I think that's really kind of important when you're dealing with creative types. People working professionally in a professionally creative way. But they've been worried that they're going to run out of stories they could tell for years and years and years. One of my favourite stories actually is called Creatures of Beauty, which is by Nick Briggs, where everything is out of order. All the when he's trying to do something different with the format, which is nice for you. But remember, we're customers. We're here because we want to hear exciting, good Doctor Who, and there isn't much exciting, good Doctor Who. And I think when we're getting like older Doctors like this, we want to hear Doctors that really fit seamlessly into that era. They recently did a 4th Doctor E-Space era. Was just perfect. You could slot any one of those stories into the E-Space thing, and it just felt right. It seems to me it's been a long time. It's been a very long time since we got just a good, solid 4-part, enjoyable story. I think we'll talk about this more when I do the review of the year. It's coming up to November soon, so we're not far out for the review of the year for Big Finish. But it's been a year of highs and lows. Well, my highs. I really like Susan's War. That's one of my favourites this year. Lows. Ooh, there's quite a few lows to talk about. But there you go. So is this a recommend? Nah, I'm going to say no. No, not right now. Not till I hear the second half. And really, I'm just think maybe they should have just done a 4-part Peter Davison story. Like Doctor turns up, has an adventure, leaves. I think maybe they should have just done that and give the people what they want rather than give the creators what they want. Although, even though, listen, it is a balance. It is a balance. I may well come out saying, after I hear the second part, this is a must listen. You must get this. I'm probably not. I'm probably not. I don't know. We'll find out. Who knows or dares to dream? We're going to have to wait a month to find out. My name is Celia Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.